Hi, I've come up with another tribute journal for the Netflix series Bridgerton, which if you've watched, it's set in the Regency era, so the same era as Jane Austen and romance. And oh, my printer just started going. So this is a fashion plate from that time. They wore the empire waisted dresses. This is a rescue book that I've covered with some really pretty silk type fabric. And this is a piece of just cardstock. And this book has 3 signatures. It's got kind of the heavier paper. I've printed digitals on each of the signature covers. If you're familiar with the show, then you know about Lady Whistledown. I just made this as a kind of a tribute to her society papers. And then I've pulled some of the quotes from that and made some digitals with that. I've used the fashion plate and some flowers and then the quote. You see, Your Majesty, it was love at first sight. That was a quote from Daphne. I've taken some decorator paper and I've coffee dyed it, and I love the wrinkle of that paper. And then I've got some of the nice resume paper that I've used because they just, the digitals show up so nicely, and I kind of like that mottled effect that it has. It gives it kind of an antique look. And then on the other side, it's almost like it's a ghost image coming through. I've got some coffee dyed paper in here, and on that I've got a little stencil of a bird, and this is some more of that delicious coffee dyed decorator paper, and I've stenciled it again. Now this is another little digital that I created with a Regency era fashion plate on it. And then on the center of each signature, I've got like a pocket situation going on. These are 2 little antique cards that I found for balls from that era. And just a plain tag that I made. And then this tag is just a regular tag, but then I covered it with some really wonderful looking tissue paper and a little flower. And then this is one of those Regency era fashion plates that I cut out and fussy cut. Now if I can get her back in there. There she goes. And the other side of that digital and some more stenciling. And this is just a little graph paper index card that I have stenciled and attached to the page with a paper clip. And this is from a digital. I've cut it into an oval shape and just glued it down. There's another one of those wonderful Regency era ladies. And some more stenciling. And then here I just stamped a mirror, and on it I wrote "Flawless, my dear," which for those of you who have seen the show, you know that's what Queen Charlotte says to Daphne, the main character. So there it is, Queen Charlotte. I wanted to be sure and attribute that to her. And here is another one of those digis that I created. Here's just a little tag with one of these digis, and then here's a quote: "Dear reader, if there's a scandal, I shall uncover it. Lady Whistledown." And then this pays tribute or looks similar to the way her little newspaper looked. And then her quote here. And here, this is the decorator paper, but then I just printed one of those fashion plates onto just regular 24-pound copy paper, and then fussy cut it and glued it down. And I really love the way that turned out. It was coffee dyed. And there's some more of the resume paper with a really pretty digi on it. And then this is a little pocket I made that is like origami. I'm mad for origami. So then you could open this up and just write all sorts of little secrets on there. And then this is just a lady's voucher for a ball. And some more of my created digis. And then this is a card that I put a little lace and another one of those digis on, but it's just a blue index card. Put a side pocket on this. And then this is some art from a book of that era. And some Society Regency ladies. During the Regency era, they would go to London for the balls, but they all primarily lived out in the country on estates. But ball season was their time to shine and to find husbands. So that's a sticker, and there's another Regency lady. And this is a piece of ribbon that I made into a little belly band. And then this is just a little writing area. That's a little card that I cut into a circle, and I only glued half of it so you could put the envelope under there, and then you just open this up and write on it and then close it back up. And it's got a little tag on it. And then it just slides down in there. I like to leave it up so you can see that. And then this is the first ball of the season, hosted by Lady Danbury. And on here I wrote the cotillion, the quadrille, the waltz, the polka, and the boulangère. Apparently these are the dances they did during that time. The ladies would hang this on their wrist. And the gentlemen would write what dance they would like to dance with that lady. Little piece of washi tape here. And there's some of those society ladies, and they're playing cards. They did a lot of those kinds of pastimes. Now here, this is just a little digi that I cut out. And this is from Jane Austen. To be fond of dancing was a certain step towards falling in love, Pride and Prejudice. And you could just write inside there, or you could glue it up if you would like and use it more as an envelope. And again, the digitals that I designed. This is coffee dyed decorator paper. And then I've just glued down that pretty digi. And there's another one of those ladies that I pulled from the fashion plates. And this is some of more of the other side of that paper. And this is, my name is Lady Whistledown. You don't know me, but be forewarned, dear reader, I certainly know you. And then this is the third signature. One thing I love about this is this book lays wonderfully flat to be able to write. And again, more quotes from Lady Whistledown. Some more stenciling on coffee dyed paper. And some more digis. And more of the decorator paper. On here I stamped forever. And then here is a little just fabric flip where you could write something you didn't really want anybody else to see. And then here's the center of this one. And in here, I've got another one of these ball cards. I've got a lady wearing a blue dress, which Daphne wore a lot in that show, I noticed. And then just like a little notebook that I made. And then this one is one of those fashion plates. I believe this woman looks the most like the character from the show. I think she looks a lot like Daphne. She was very kind of waifish. And here is a little piece of washi tape, more digi, a little piece of a coloring book for you to doodle on. And again, the stamp Forever. And Diamond of the First Water. Those of you who have watched it know that that is what the first show was called. And another wonderful lady there. And a stencil. And then here I've just put a little piece of that tissue paper that we used. And there's some lace in here. And then a lot of folks, their favorite line is this one, I burn for you, which is what Simon Bassett, her love interest, says, the Duke of Hastings. And then this is just like a little fold out where you can write stuff and put it back in there. And then I have added this little elastic band if you want to keep it closed, or if you don't. I don't particularly like to close mine up. I like to be able to get into it, but this is just elasticized. You can take it on and off, or you can leave it off for good. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed.